Well, good evening, folks. If anybody happens to tune in while I'm making this recording, please know you're totally welcome and I'm glad you're here. And that this is intended to be a service recorded for this evening at our regular 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Devotional worship time. I have other commitments this evening that are going to require my attendance there. And so here I am at the moment, just offering this in advance of this evening. This will be shared later tonight for folks to gather, but we did want to keep our commitment to offering that service and allow people to connect in. So to begin with, thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for connecting in. I see some of you checking in right now. Please note the first few minutes. This is intended for 7 o'clock tonight, but if you want to watch along right now, you're welcome to do so. I was outside a little bit today, and it is just beginning to be absolutely beautiful. And the glory of creation and the sanctuary of that space is our topic for this evening. But we will begin first with a little song as we welcome people into this space. Well, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, God made their glowing colors, God made their tiny wings. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Cold wind in the winter, the pleasant summer sun, the ripe fruits in the garden, God made them, everyone. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. God gave us eyes to see them, and lips that we might tell how great is God Almighty, who has made all things well. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. A lot of folks are feeling a lot of tension in what it means to be locked down and to be locked in, to be locked out of spaces that they find to be sanctuary and holy places. And tonight I just want to remind us that the most holy places in the New Testament witness were wherever Jesus was, and so often where Jesus was in the natural world, in the day-to-day, in the opportunities to just be out in creation. You hear about the Sermon on the Mount or the plain, the hillside or the plain. He spoke with people in those holy natural places. You see that he encounters folks not really all that often in sanctuary or set-aside, sanctified spaces. He encounters them on the streets and on the walkways and on the journeys from one place to another, and in the majesty of creation, on the boats and the shorelines and all of those things. And so tonight I just want to remind us that you are in no way locked out of the sanctuary. You are not locked out of the capacity to connect with something holy and beautiful and good. I want to remind you tonight, you are not locked out of church. because there is beauty to be discovered out there, and it is ripe for the viewing at the moment. And if you are not, for some medical reason or because of this whole COVID situation, physically able to get out into the beauty of the world right now, I invite you to invite that beauty into your life. If you are watching this on the internet, then you have access and you can find yourself a super cool nature documentary, listen to David Attenborough say something wonderful, or just have a chance to enjoy the panorama of something glorious. It's not hard to find, and today might be a really beautiful day to remind yourself of the beauty of creation. As we gather, I will share with you these first words from the 19th Psalm. It says this: "The heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims God's handiwork. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night declares knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard, yet their voice goes out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world." If somebody's not just using the language, how does the word of heaven, how does the language of the sacred go to all the places of the world? Well, part of that is answered in the firmament, the earthliness, the beauty of creation, the mountains, the streams, the sunshine, the dandelions, the flowers, the things that are starting to show. As the sun is warming our spirits, nature is reminding us of new life. The firmament is proclaiming God's glory, and there you might find the holy once again. I'm frankly giving you some advice this evening to take some time in the next day or two, so long as it's possible physically, so long as it is safe and responsible, to get out of where you are sitting. Get out of the house, townhome, apartment, living situation you find yourself in. So long as it's physically possible and safe, get out and see the sanctuary that surrounds you. No, you're not allowed into 70 East Main Street here at Victor right now, but you are not in any way precluded from seeing the majesty of creation that is around you. So get out. Your pastor is kicking you out so that you actually might find God right where you are. Now, I wanted to give us a chance to be a people in prayer, but I recognize that since this is pre-recorded, and I will not be able to respond to your comments live, that becomes a little more of a challenge. So here's an opportunity for just a touch of education. There are multiple ways of praying, and in church history we have found some ways of codifying that or putting language to specific ways of prayer. And there's an argument about how many different kinds there are, but I'm going to suggest there's at least 5. And this evening we'll take a minute to do each of those 5. The first is everybody's least favorite, and that's a prayer of confession. And please don't type anything in so your friends can see it in the comments. Please don't announce it out into the world. But if there is something in your spirit that is just off center and it's a challenge for you and a thing that you need to fix, a place you've stumbled or bumbled or failed, a place that you have insulted or sinned, a place or a thing or a pattern that you can repair, I encourage you to offer that prayer in the time that we have in just a moment. The other 4 are the pieces I would encourage us to think about. One is a prayer of adoration. Just thanks to God for being God. Sometimes you'll hear this, instead of adoration, referred to as praise. Just thanks to God for being God. Not asking for anything, just acknowledging the glory and of the space that we find, the magnificence of creation and the beauty of community. Thanks to God for just being God. Which leads us to a second kind of prayer, which is a prayer of thanksgiving. That's a thanks for not just God being adored, but thanks for the things that we have experienced as holy, the gifts we have been given in our lives, the glorious moments where we have known that we are loved or we have been able to be loving to someone else. Thanksgiving is, I am blessed and know it. Blessed may not mean rich or healthy or even perfectly safe. Blessed can mean aware of the presence of the sacred. We can offer a prayer of thanksgiving. Prayers, number 1, confession is an option as a way of praying. Number 2, adoration, thanks to God for being God, is an option. Number 3, thanksgiving itself for an awareness of the holy in our lives and the blessings that we know and experience. Option number 4, intercession. Prayers of intercession are prayers that are offered for somebody else, on behalf of someone that we know, love, care about. Prayers for a broken world and fragile bodies. Prayers for people that we just care about and cannot fix or heal right now. Intercession is where we stand between one person's suffering and the very graciousness of God, and we just speak the need aloud. Perhaps this evening you can take a moment to be in a prayer of intercession. And finally, there's a prayer of petition or supplication, depending on what tradition you come from. But petition or supplication, this fifth option for a way of praying, is for yourself. It is not selfish or wrong or incorrect to offer a prayer of petition, of supplication. It is littered throughout all of Scripture. We have a precedent, and we have an invitation to be honest about where we are in our lives, to express our needs and our pains, our joys and our hopes, our uncertainty and our celebration. So perhaps tonight, when we have a moment, you can offer a prayer of petition for yourself. The 5 ways of praying: confession, adoration, thanksgiving, intercession, petition. I'll give you a chance to lift up any or all of those as I offer a song here which is known as Getting Lost. It's a song I wrote in a time when I needed to go take a walk with my dog and find myself wandering but recentering in the majesty, the cathedral of creation, in the companionship of a natural being, my dog, who's kinder to me than I am often to myself, and to pray in that space to recenter and return to the life and the commitments I have. Friends, tonight as this song is sung, I invite you to pray, to confess, to adore, to offer thanksgiving, to pray on behalf of another, or to pray on behalf of yourself. Let's take a minute now to pray. Foot on a root, one step higher. Here she comes and away we go, into the woods on a path unknown, getting lost to find my way back home. Trying to forget all the things I must remember, trying to let it go. They'll be waiting for me when I circle back around. Right now I'm getting lost to find my way back home. place of the open door. Home where I need nothing more. Where the light reveals all that's real. Love feels the way back home. Left or right really doesn't matter. Both will turn around. Back into the day and the labor of a life. What was lost now is found. Home, the place in the open door. Home where I need nothing more. Where the light reveals all that's real. Love feels the way. Where the light reveals all that's real. Love feels the way back home. Foot on a root, one step higher. Here she comes and away we go. Next time, there's time to get lost and find my way back home. So friends, while service tonight might be a little truncated and a little bit different, as we had to pre-record and I can't in person immediately respond to the prayer requests you have, I do hope that you've taken the chance and that you will take the chance that is always before you every day to confess, to praise, to pray on behalf of another, to offer a word of deep and abiding thanks, to pray for yourself. And one of the best ways you may be able to do that in this season of new growth, in these days of extraordinary beauty, is to get out and know that you are never locked out from the cathedral of creation, from the sanctuary of God's beauty, from the natural world, which is the firmament of the garden of creation and a place you are privileged to call home. Look for something beautiful today. Know that it's a reminder that you are loved by God, that no matter what else is true, this much remains: love for you. Thank you for taking the time this evening. We will be back live and in person next Wednesday. We will be here Sunday at 10 o'clock. If you want to be part of the Zoom prayer gatherings, just send an email or a notification to the office, and we're happy to connect with you. If you are willing and able to support the ministry happening here, fully staffed, fully active, fully honoring our mission commitments, and continuing to expand this virtual ministry until such a time as we are able to be both in person and on the internet. We thank you for your contributions and know that you can go to victorpress.org, victorpres.org. That will take you to our website, and right on that page is an opportunity for online contributions. We thank you for that. But for now, thank you for being here tonight. May God bless you and keep you. May the face of the holy be known to you, shine upon you, and may you find the peace you need to navigate this new world and to journey into a blessing. May God bless you. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.